Hello, everyone. Boy, it's been a while, but I had a moment and I was able to get a lot done in the garden just now, and I thought it would be a great time to show you some things that I have going on. I'm in the greenhouse right now, but I'm going to go out in a moment and show you what craziness is going on. We're losing light, but I have the light of the twinkle lights that I haven't taken out from Christmas. I might just leave them up and have them be out for summer. But anyhow, here I am in the greenhouse. Let me take a step back so you can get the full effect. I have loved it this season. It's been wonderful. This is the second winter, and this year I really enjoyed it to the fullest, having, kind of gotten my greenhouse sea legs, so to speak, and kind of trying to figure out what I can do. I have the little greenhouse heater that would kick on anytime it got 40 or below. And really, I was just trying to keep the edge off, keep the frost off, and that was about it. I had 2 heaters running last year, and my electric bill went sky high. So I really toned it back this year. And in the daytime, it's lovely. It's just a spa-like retreat in here, even in the winter, from all of that wonderful natural sunlight casting in. So yeah, it's really just the evenings. But with that said, all of the beautiful things that you see in here right now, the orange tree, all my pansies, all of the little ornamental plants and things I have, they all survived. So I can't complain, right? So, all right. So here at the door, to welcome you in, I added this little faux bois stool. I think it adds such a nice little natural kind of look. Let me back up this way so you can see. And that's just a little grouping I have here that's been making me happy all winter. I keep my little bubbler in here, and I've had this one a few years now. I usually keep it outside during the warmer months, but in here it's really nice. You get to hear the trickling sound of the water, and it adds moisture to the air too, which is very nice. That's from Campania International. And I don't know, I had that pre-social media, pre-How's It Growing, so I don't know, about 6 years now. I really, really like it. And all the pansies. I had ordered these in the fall, and they have just been marvelous and just beautiful. Couple little hellebores. I got a amaryllis just trying to grow there now. It's a little late, better late than never. And some winterberry there that I didn't even plant. I just kind of poked them around there in the containers because I think they're pretty. This orange, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a Calamandan orange, which is a cross between, is it a tangerine and a kumquat? It's a cross between something and a kumquat, but I've had that for a few years now. I bring it out once it's warm enough, and oh my goodness, you can make jams and jellies, but let me warn you now, the most tart fruit you will ever taste. But I love them. And I actually watched another gardener. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I really don't remember. I was looking up Calamandan oranges and came across a video on YouTube, and it was somebody I'm not familiar with. But she said the skin is so thin that you can just go ahead and eat the whole thing. And I watched her do that. So I did that today, and it wasn't bad, despite the fact that, your eyeballs start to water and it's like the most sour candy you've ever tasted. I ate it with the skin and everything. So kind of an interesting thing. But boy, it's loaded, right? And then I've got my olive tree here that you can see is putting on all fresh new growth right there. Oh, it's so exciting. So this will come out. The orange will come out. I have a lemon tree in the back that's looking a little peaked. I got to give it some of the Espoma citrus tone and get that in better shape. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just not doing a whole lot, but it's, in the corner of a fairly shaded corner of the greenhouse. So it's alive, it's green, and we'll get it outside and warmed up soon. So I've got more little pansies. These are all purchased in the fall and potted up in the fall, and they've just been so pretty. I have a couple of geraniums that made it. I had a couple that did not make it. They were on the colder side of the greenhouse, and with the heater blowing in this direction, everything stayed happy that was on this little shelf here. And by the way, I have a new potting bench. I don't know if you saw my video I posted on Instagram over the winter, but I did like a little mini makeover and added this potting bench, and it has just been a game changer. I enjoy it so very much. It's keeping me organized. It's a wonderful place for me to pot things up. I've got some little iris here that I forced, and they were from some bulbs that I had, quite frankly, forgot to plant, and I planted them a couple weeks ago and they just sprung right up. So that's really fun to see. It's normally way less crowded in here. You can see a bunch of containers. These are dahlias. Now, if you're new here, by the way, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Even if you're not new here, please hit subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get more consistent with the videos this season. I say that all the time, but maybe fingers crossed the stars will align and I will be able to come on here much more frequently. That is my hope. So in my zone 7A, New Jersey, I am very lucky to be able to leave dahlias in the ground. So I do that in some situations, in some areas. I am planning on moving a lot of them this year. So very late, like a month or so ago, way too late, dug them up. I kind of, poked around to see what felt viable. There were some that felt, squidgy and squishy, and those I tossed, and I managed to salvage a lot of firm and nice looking tubers. So rather than put them in the vermiculite or try and wrap them up or do anything at that point, I thought, well, I've got the greenhouse. Why don't I go ahead and try and pre-sprout them? I have pre-sprouted dahlias in the past. If you live in a cooler climate, that's a great thing to do to kind of just jumpstart your growing of your dahlias. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just doing it extra early because I didn't want to leave them in the ground any longer and chance it, since some of them did feel rotty. Just your standard potting mix. Again, I use the Espoma organic potting mix and the tuber in there, and I gave them a little drink, not too much. Don't want them to rot, and say a little prayer. Hopefully they will make it. What else do we have? I have a little strawberry plant in here that basically I was just trying to keep it alive. It is alive. It is green. So that is a win as far as I'm concerned. I've got a Chef's Choice rosemary in here. I love this one. I got this last year. It smells so good. And it is from Southern Living Plant Collection. Oh, my hands smell so good right now. And it's a culinary rosemary. It has a higher oil content, so it's great for cooking. So over the winter months, I'm able to come out here and clip some herbs. It's so nice. This is a kirigami oregano, and you may have seen I love to plant the Kent Beauty oregano. This is its, I guess, sister variety, and it gets a deeper, more dusty, rosy pink. Honestly, I can't tell the difference. Right now, it's at its very green phase, but as it grows, it'll take on that rosy hue to the little kind of hoppy-looking flowers that it grows. This one I grew from seed. Again, it's kirigami oregano, ornamental, and it is a beautiful plant. I grew this from seed under my grow lights last year. Last year it kind of was really slow growing, and now you can see it is looking fuller and fuller every day. It's so pretty. So I have a bunch of new hellebores I got this year. I kept this one in this pot here. I'll get to the branches in a minute. I'll get to these branches in a minute. But I've got some more pansies here. Lots of pansies, you guys. I have to move this. Lemon cypress is looking sad. In the wintertime, it was fine. Oh my gosh, it's getting super crispy. I think this might be a goner. We had a couple hot days and I meant to pull it down from that shelf. And I think that guy is a goner. Lemon cypress are super finicky. I have one that I miraculously kept alive in the house for 3 years now, and this one feels quite dry. Ooh, and it's because it was just getting too much sun here now that the temperatures have risen. Moving on. A few little boxwoods. I'm just going to maybe try and topiary. Those are sprinters, and I potted those up in the fall. I have a passion flower vine here. I've never grown passion flower. I'm obsessed with the way the flowers look. So cool to have a tropical plant inside. So I planted one and it lived through the winter, and that's terrific. I can just imagine it kind of like sprawling along the shelf here. I think that would be really cute. Here are some far better looking lemon cypress, and that's because they are shaded from the shelf here. I will probably move these inside when it gets too hot, because it's just a little too much for them. They can't take that hot heat and dry like that. Not in my experience anyway. I'm not an expert, but okay. And right here, I've got a couple trays of poppies that I just kind of broadcast sowed yesterday. And the only way I've ever been able to successfully grow poppies was with the winter sowing in the milk jugs. And I had such great luck with that. I thought, well, I'm not going to do the winter sowing now. It's been unseasonably warm here. It probably is where you live too, if you're near New Jersey, near where I live. And yeah, so I digress. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. So rather than do the winter sowing in the milk jugs, I decided to just fill up a couple trays. There's no drainage in them, so I don't have the soil really super saturated, just a little moist to the touch. And I just spread some bread seed poppies and some amazing gray poppies, which I have grown before, and they are gorgeous. So I have my fingers crossed on that. I just misted them today. So hopefully that will work. I have a lot more seeds that I want to start. It's seed starting season for me here. And so I'm going to be doing some stuff under the grow lights, some more stuff here in the greenhouse as well. I'll be happy to get these dahlia pots out of here. They're taking up so much space. Okay, so I told you that I would talk to you about these branches, these beautiful budded up branches. I think you might know where I'm going with this. So hold on. Okay, here we go. It's getting a little dark out, but you can see the carnage of branches on my lawn here. That ornamental plum that I had, that I loved for so long, I finally took it down last week. It had to go, and as I cut it down, and it is quite dark, I apologize, but I had a quiet, nice moment, and I just felt compelled to share with you guys. You can see here, it was all even rotten in there. Such a sad thing. I loved this tree, but that's the way the garden grows, right? There's happiness along with sadness, and there's loss along with gain and rebirth, and it's just ever changing. So this is now also I should mention, when I cut this down, I use this little mini chainsaw. I'll have to go in the greenhouse and grab it to show you. But I took the whole tree down with this mini chainsaw. And then at the very end here, I did have my dad come, manual saw, and we just kind of sawed through the rest that we couldn't get with the tiny little chainsaw. But when I cut this down, it was so rotten. You see that? This had ants. Well, I should go back for anybody that doesn't know. This poor plum tree got infested with scale a few years back. I did not do my due diligence. I thought it wouldn't be a huge problem, and I just really did not investigate further. I thought I could take care of it. I tried to scrape them off. It was absolutely ridiculous. I should have had an arborist out here, and I didn't. I just saw a bunny running out of the corner of my eye. Every year it got progressively worse. If you don't know what scale is, they are basically sap-sucking insects that they basically suck the life out of your tree, and they need to be controlled, and they get controlled with using a horticultural spray, and I did not do that, and I feel so badly that I didn't. I think at first I didn't even know that that's what this had, and then when I realized, I tried to maintain it myself, and obviously I just couldn't do it. So it's a cycle then where, oh, there's that bunny. I see you. It's a little early for you. Is it a little early for you? What you looking for? Just don't run into the greenhouse. The door's open, okay? You can stay. You can stay. I say that now, and then I'll be throwing my flip-flop in a couple of months. Sorry to keep showing you guys a stump, but long story short, it got infested with scale. The scale sucks the sap from the trees. The sap, it's called honeydew, and the honeydew draws wasps and pests and fungus and ants, and the ants are drawn to the honeydew, and then it's just a whole big cycle, and then the ants are eating away at my tree, and it's just Very bad. Very, very bad. So I'll move along from that, but you can see there's the larger trunks that came down. So we'll be bundling those up. I would normally bundle those branches up and put them in my raised beds because there's that bunny again. I would normally put them in my raised beds and kind of bury them because that's great to kind of fill your raised beds up when the soil recedes. But because these were so diseased, I won't do anything like that. I'll just get rid of them and then we'll move on from there. It's hard to see right now, but I did plant 3 new crepe myrtles along the fence. You guys hear me talk about crepe myrtles all the time. I love crepe myrtles. I had 3 crepe myrtles here that I lost and they cracked. So those were multi-trunk that I had. And I know there's a lot of opinions on crepe myrtles. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Some people prune them and do that quote unquote crepe murder. I am not a crepe murderer. I will let these grow to their full glory. These are the purple variety, the Muskogee, the Muskogee crepe myrtles. Sorry. I thought I heard one of my children in the distance. They're inside with their father right now. But there's 3 there. These are on standard single trunk. And I can just envision like a purple cloud up there. So I hope that happens. And I will keep you updated for sure. I'm thinking of doing a lot of changes, but I'm not going to talk about it because in case it doesn't happen, I don't want to look like a liar. I don't want to let myself down. Do we think that we should leave the Christmas lights on the boxwoods for summer? I think that would be nice. Why not, right? It's a nice little festive look. I really think that bunny's going to run into my greenhouse. Okay, so some of the things that I did here's the little Baxter. Hello, little Baxter. And there's Mark. Hi, Mark. I put branches in my window boxes that are all butted up. You could see I was forcing some of the branches in there. These are butted up. And I feel like that's such a beautiful way that I'll be able to honor my tree and hopefully see it bloom again. And you guys, I know you saw it. That is some daffodils. I'm a wishful thinker that I didn't plant. So I popped some in here and there because they were leftovers. And I thought, I'm not going to waste these bulbs. So I popped them in, specifically this planter here. And if I could get some daffodils, late planting them, I will make a footnote here that they were in my very cold, dark basement. So they're nice and firm and I can see that there's lots of life in them. So why not try? So they are jammed in here and I put the branches from my ornamental plum there. And wouldn't it be beautiful to see those bloom? I would love that. That would just make me feel so good. And maybe I'll save those branches and use them in arrangements in the future. Who knows if they don't get too brittle and break. But there's, a lot going on. It's garden time, right? Almost. I like to say, this is the fake spring, but is it? Because these temperatures have been crazy warm. I'm leaving the cover on my fountain for now because I've gotten anxious in the past and I uncovered my fountain and it cracked. So I'm not playing any of those games. I'm not having that. No. I've also got those same daffodils in these planters here. Mark built these obelisks for me last year and I absolutely love them. I just love them. And in the center here, I have a little climbing rose. This is from Proven Winners Color Choice, and it's called Rise Up Lilac Days. And it's dark, and you can't see anything right now. But here's my dark garden. Look how huge the sprinters are, you guys. I'll be sure to come back out here when it's actually daylight to show you guys around. But I just really wanted to show you some of the things that were happening. It's definitely garden go time. Definitely feeling revived and rejuvenated, and I'm actually feeling good that tree is down. It was unsafe, and despite wanting it to stay, wanting it wasn't going to make that happen because this is life and this is nature and these things happen. But look how much it opens things up. And now I've got the new crepe myrtles there and I can just see a whole blank blank slate now. Oh, I want to get my table moved back and I want to get things back in order here. Okay. Thank you guys, and I hope you're all enjoying your late winter and early spring and have lots of fun plans on the horizon. And I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. No, wait, I'm back again. I told you guys I would show you my little mini chainsaw. Okay, so this was not cheap. I'll start by saying that right now, but I researched the heck out of it. It's by Steel. It's a great brand. I can't say enough good things about it. I took down a whole darn tree. So that's my endorsement. No, it's not sponsored. Steel's not sponsoring me. They sponsor Martha Stewart, for goodness sake. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.